Hey guys, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. It's Beer 30. Let's go take a walk, see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews. Today we got us a big 22-ounce bomber, and they cheated us a little bit on this one. The beer is only up to here. Usually about a 1-inch head space in there, and they screwed us out of about an inch and a quarter, maybe an inch and a half of beer in there. Didn't fill the bottle up. What the hell's wrong with that? What's up with that? What? This is Big Black Voodoo Daddy out of the Voodoo Brewery. These guys are out of Pennsylvania. This was sent to me by my brother Rico. He probably sent me several different versions because I did this back in March of 2016, beer review 1984. So he must have sent me 2 of these. And this has been cellaring in the closet and in the fridge since then. And it has $10 on the price tag on this. Not too awful expensive for a 12.5%, I think. Let's see if it's got it on here. It says 12% on the bottle. So they do these beers probably once a year or so. And since he sent me another one, I figured, well, we'll let this one settle for a year and see how it sells. So that's what we're doing here. And the note that he sent with this says 2014 Voodoo Big Black Voodoo Daddy. He said he bought it in the winter of 2014, and he knows it's a 2014 vintage because the brewery started putting purple caps on the bottles in 2014, while the 2013 vintage had red caps. And then they started putting the 2015 versions in 12-ounce bottles with purple caps, like the one he sent me. He did send me a small one, and I probably drank that one. Says here is a 12% Imperial Stout, which is what the bottle's got on it. The label here on Beer Advocate is considerably different than that. So, and I can't tell by the picture whether it's a 12-ounce bottle or a bomber. It may be a 12-ounce, and it looks like they may have changed the label up. And hopefully they've started adding a date or a vintage on it. That was the biggest fuss I had when I did it last year in March, that it didn't have a vintage on it in case you wanted to do side by side, a vertical or whatever. They were not doing it then, and this one does not have it either. So, but he tells me it's a 2014 edition because of the size of the bottle and the color of the cap. So we're going to see how well this one's cellared. So this is the re-review in 2017 of the 2014 edition. And a lot of these brewers have figured out they can put these big 12%ers into little 12-ounce bottles, put them in a 4-pack, and charge just as much as they did for the 22-ounce. That's how that works. Yeah, that's how that works. If they figure out they got something good going on, they'll downsize the bottle and charge you just as much. Cereal's the same way, and a lot of other things, and a lot of breweries have figured that out, and they've downsized. Instead of doing the bombers, they're doing these in little 12-ounce bottles and put them in a 4-pack, and they can charge you just as much, if not more, for that 4-pack as they did for this. A 4-pack 12, 24, 36, 48 ounces. 2 bombers is 44 ounces. So they're going to charge you as much for 4 of these as they probably would for 2 of these. Maybe not. I'm just throwing that out there. If you're paying, this is $10 for a 22-ounce. If you're paying $20 for a 4-pack of this, you're getting 48 ounces instead of 44, but hopefully you're not paying $20 for that 4-pack. I don't know. I've not seen it. So, Y'all might put those comments in there. If y'all seen the 4-pack of this, I'm pretty sure that's how they would package it if they put it in 12-ounce bottles. So, let's get on with this. I don't want it to be a hugely long video. Hugely? Is that a word? Commercial description says this is our Imperial Stout that we age in conditioning tanks with oak staves. Not bourbon barrels or anything like that. They want to get some oak woodiness to the beer, and that's why they put the oak staves in there. This adds a classic character of old world aging with our bourbon, without the bourbon tones. The black ale is about 11% ABV and very rich and roasted in chocolate malt tones, velvety smooth and able to be aged for years. That's why I did what I did with this one. This is a 2014 according to what Rico has told me, and this is the 27th of July. So I don't know exactly when in the 2014 they put it in the bottle. January, July, December. I don't know what part of the year they did it. I'm just assuming. 2014, this is 2017. It's 3 years old, approximately. So, let's get on with it. I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about. As far as IBUs on this, let's see if Untapped has it. They have it at 74. 12% and 74 IBUs. So, it's time. Let's get it open. A little bit of hiss, not much smoke. Into the glass we go. And while I'm doing this, I'll tell you the cheese is buttery, brie, Gouda, Havarti, Swiss. Goes well with your chocolate dishes. And the meat is beef, smoked meat, game, and grilled meat. Glassware, pint backer, knife, tumbler, snifter, oversized wine glass. I got my favorite snifter. And it says here can be sold for a long period of time. And I'm not aware of any coffee being introduced to this beer, so it should sell it very well. About a half a finger of head on that pour. Looks very good in the glass, very dark. Over to the light, I am getting none. It is pitch black, guys. I found this when I have had this several different times, and when I reviewed it last year, I found it very, very tasty. Just a little bit disappointed that they didn't have a vintage or anything like that. Now that they're doing the 12 ounces, they may have a vintage on it or a bottle date. I'm not sure, guys. I have not seen the new version. So, let's get a nose to it. Rich roasted malt. Slight hint of some bittersweet chocolate, maybe some caramel topping, molasses. Got a nice sweetness to the back end here, the nose on it. May even have a little bit of licorice going on in it. It smells pretty good. It smells very, very pleasant. Well, final beer of the evening for me. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Rico. Very, very nice, guys. Very enjoyable. Alcohol is super well hidden. It is aged very well. I am giving slight hints of bittersweet chocolate on the taste. And this slight hint of some black licorice in there. Very well done. 12%, it is very well hidden. Exceptionally well made beer, guys. Like I said, hopefully, now that they've downsized to the 12-ounce bottles, I haven't seen them. They're putting some kind of vintage or dating bottle date on them. I don't know. Any of you guys has picked up the new versions of this in the 12-ounce bottles, you may post in the comments whether it has a vintage or bottled on date. I'm not sure. It'd be nice if they did that. At least give us a month of the year, and at the very least, give us a year, so we can do a vertical if we wanted to. You know, we're going to pick up a 4-pack of this and have maybe 1 or 2 of them seller, and then we're going to pick up next year or the year after or whatever. If we want to do several different years side by side, we do a 2017 or a 2018 or whatever side by side to see how they age and combine and come together over time. This one seems to be very, very tasty, guys. It's just as pleasant as I remember it being last March. And I'm pretty sure I did the same one back then. It was probably the 2014 that I did back then. So this is I'm damn sure that Rico sent me both of these beers. Whether they did at the same time, I'm not sure, but I didn't go back and look at the video. I just knew that I looked and seen that I had done it back in March of 2016. So, well, let me sip on it. It's right out of the fridge, and pour her a glass of this, and I might even have to fire up a stogie to go outside and sit on the deck with this and sip on it for a while and see what we end up with. Alright guys, I'm back. Got a little bit left here. Very tasty. It's just as tasty as I remember it being last March when I did it. This is the older bottle. This is a 2014 edition. Now that Rico has sent me the information that they're doing these in little 12-ounce bottles now, and I have had one of those 12-ounce bottles, but I didn't review it. I drank it, my bad. I didn't look and see whether it had a vintage date or anything on it. So I'm leaving it up to you guys. If you've had the new edition in the 12-ounce bottles, let me know if you've seen any kind of vintage on the label or bottled on date. I do not know. This sells very well. I still think about the same thing as I thought when I did it back in March of 2016. But it did sell very well. There's nothing in it that's going to deteriorate over time, as far as I know. There's no coffee or anything like that introduced to it. But it's a 12% beer that sells very well. Very tasty. A great beer. The only thing I would say to make it better, put it in the bourbon barrel for a little while. That would kick it up a notch or two. And if you had a vintage on that, that would be an excellent beer. Probably even get a 10 from me. But right now, not so much. I do think it's an A beer though. So final chug. I think it's exactly where I thought it was back then. It's an 8 beer, guys. Would like to see some kind of vintage on their newer stuff. I don't know if it's happening or not. You guys have to clue me in on that. I have not seen the new label that I'm seeing here on Untapped and Beer Advocate for the little smaller 12-ounce bottles. Hopefully they have stepped up to the plate and put some kind of year on it, or even better than that, a month and a year, or a month day and a year on top of that. So I hear the microwave in there just beeping its head off. It's an 8 for me, guys. That's where I'm going to put it. 92 for me on this one. A minus. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 93. Pretty close there. They say it's an outstanding beer, and I agree. It is an outstanding beer. It's very well made. Alcohol is super well hidden. A very, very tasty beer. Other than being bourbon barrel aged, it is done with oak staves. There is some slight woodiness to it. I'm not getting a whole lot of vanilla or anything like that on it, or coconut. Rich roasted malt, bittersweet chocolate, hints of licorice, maybe some brown sugar in there. Not getting a lot of dark fruit. There may be some plums or dates in there. Didn't pick up a whole lot on that. More of the roasted malt and the bittersweet chocolate and the licorice is what I'm picking up on this beer. So with that being said, like I said, 92 from me, 93 from Beer Advocate, and over to Untapped, they have it at 4.03, which is in their A- range also. So it's A- from everybody, me, Beer Advocate, and Untapped. So it's that's where it's ended up. A-. Definitely an A beer. Alcohol is so very well hidden. You don't know you're drinking at 12%. So be careful with this one. Drink this one at home. If you're drinking it out in a bar or a brew pub, you see it on tap somewhere, make sure you have a designated driver if you're drinking maybe even one of these. If you're a small frame fellow or a lady, 12%, one of these in Virginia is enough if you go through a road check to get it impaired driving. So just be careful. Drink responsibly, guys, and if you are drinking something of this magnitude out, make sure you have somebody that's going to drive you home. Uber, a taxi, close friend, significant other half, whatever. So with that being said, we're going to leave it at that. And if you had it, this is the Voodoo Brewing Company, their Big Black Voodoo Daddy. This is a 2014 edition, according to what Rico told me. Let me know what you think, guys, and until we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.